gonna be getting the maximum.
Man. We're gonna go high cookie jar. Okay, getting close. Brother needs to stop. And today, guys, we have the Blazer in the shop. A little backstory, my 1984 Blazer, if you're new to the channel, is my first truck, if you can even call it, it's a truck. Recently we changed the motor out and put Sniper EFI on it. It had Sniper 1, but we put Sniper 2 on it, and we went to go pass submissions. And they do what's called a fuel tank pressure test. And they pressurize the fuel tank to make sure the fuel vapor goes out and into the carbon canister. And my fuel tank was leaking air around the wiring going through the fuel sender plate and to the fuel pump. The little plastic boss got knocked at some point in time and was leaking air. So recently we actually just dropped the fuel tank, changed the fuel sender, and that came with a Chinese pump, and we put it all back together and went to go start it up, and I only had 20 pounds of fuel pressure. And you know, EFI doesn't like 20 pounds, it likes 60. So I figured, my family was like, oh, you should film it for your YouTube channel. So this is where we're at. We're going to pull the fuel tank out by first removing the bumper, removing this little panel, getting the hoses on top loose, and then we have to get the fuel tank guard, the skid plate. We got to get that off. And then we have to get the two straps and swing them down, pull them off. And then we have to get two jacks under it, angle it sideways, pull the fuel neck, and then get the rest of the wiring and the tubes on top out, slide it down at an angle, and drop it, really. And then we have the original fuel pump right over here that we were going to put in, and we're going to slap it all back together. Follow me on that? Alright, well, I'm gonna get to work, and you're going to hopefully get something out of this video. Alright, now that we have the rear bumper off, which took 8 bolts or 8 nuts, and then we have this trim piece right here, which you want to set far away from what you're doing because this will easily bend. All I had to do is take these 2 bolts out and this one loose, and you can slide it out because the brackets are attached to the bumper. And you have to get the bumper off before you get those, before you can get that out. It's 1/2-inch bolts right there and 11/16 nuts on the bumper. Now what it'll reveal is I have 2 fuel tank, or 2 bolts for the shield, and there's 2 bolts on the inside that we have to pull out. And then we have our wiring, which you gotta pull all the way. Oh yeah, and you wanna make sure to pull your light off, and then move that out of the way. Move the wiring completely out of the way. And it'll reveal the 2 nuts for the fuel tank straps. So first things first is you're gonna have to pull this off before you mess with these. Trust me from that experience. I think these are 9/16. So I'll pull these 2 off and the 2 on the other side, and then we can work on the fuel tank. Okay, camera died again at the worst spot. I think I'm only getting 20 minutes of run time on my camera because of 8, obviously, and I have the media mod on my camera, so kind of traps it in. Anyways, enough about camera stuff. Died at the worst time possible, but I got another jack under there to support it. And I went and did something else. So what I have done is I have lowered the fuel tank at an angle enough to get to the vent hose and the return line. So I got the fuel pressure, I got the fuel vent and the intake side for the fuel, where the fuel comes out of. I got those two off while I was fully up. I then lowered the tank and got the vent line off, the filler neck vent, and the return line off. At this position, it's better to get to it. So right now, I'm going to get that off, which is already coming off. Won't be too hard. And then I'll bend it to the side, and then I'll let this tank down because we don't have to worry about wiring yet because it can extend all the way down. So let me get to work. Alright, well guys, we have the fuel tank out. What I was trying to do before I even messed with the fuel tank, I can better show you. I was taking this line loose, and this is the vent line, and I pulled it off, got it out of the way, and I got this line, the intake, I guess you can call it line. I got it loose, I got the clamp pushed over, and you can use this big rod to push it over the frame and push the tube off. This return line is kind of far down back there, so it's easier to get the clamp loose and then let the tank go down a little bit, and so you can get on top and pull it off, because for some reason the return line is in the very back. I don't know why. Anyways, so that's how I did it. I kind of messed up, and I left the ground wire on, and I kind of did the same thing. We'll pressurize it and make sure that's still okay. But I just pulled the fuel pump wiring off. That doesn't take too much, and it wasn't that bad. I just kinked this hose all the way up. That's why you have to come down at kind of an angle. Right now we are going to pull the sender out. I don't know if I should wait for my dad or not. So I'm going to wait to see you on that, but I'm going to just play it by ear for a sec, and then I'll update you what I'm doing. Okay, so it turns out I'm going to pull the fuel sender out and change the fuel pump. So we're gonna get that little ring moved, and then we're going to have to pull off a clamp, you can call it like that, and move some wiring, pull a few things off, slap a new pump on, and slap it right back in. So let's do that. Alright, well, we changed out the float to the original float, which will give us a correct reading. We're a little mixed up before, but currently we are going to drop the center back in, make sure that it's all sealed up, and then we are going to reinstall the fuel tank. Alright, well, we have the fuel lines all hooked up. We have the wiring almost hooked up. We still have the ground to do. We got the fuel tank straps on, all cinched up. Fuel tank is all installed. Fuel sender's in. Fuel pump is all in. We are now ready to put the guard on. And then after we put the guard on, just make sure everything's tidy up. Then put the top plate, trim plate on, bumper on, and we're done. So let's get to work. Alright guys, my camera actually died right before we were finished. Me and my dad wanted the truck to be finished and done and running and driving because we were leaving on a trip. A few days after that, it's been 2 weeks and I'm back from the trip. Sorry, I haven't posted a video. I have a few videos that will take a lot of editing. But I'm about to do a little bit more jet ski content and another trip. But I have to say, the fuel pump worked, and we got it all back together. Put the trim piece back on, put the bumper back on, and everything is all back together and running and driving. So, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. If you want to see more on my YouTube channel, go check out my YouTube channel at Car Dog Garage. And I will see you there. Thank you. Peace.